Hey, Dexter, I can't even comprehend how you'd think I'd wear such an atrocious dress on my flawless body. It's like a direct insult to my dignity, Dexter. Answer me, immediately. Where the hell are you? I can't believe you're making your precious little princess wait like this. Your audacity? It's reaching new heights, Dexter.
Tracy, are you even aware that I'm still at work? It's pretty obvious, you know. So I'd highly appreciate it if you could cut it out with the constant barrage of messages and calls on my phone. Thank you.
Oh, look at you, Dexter, all grown up and at work. How adorable, my little obedient boy. Working so hard to make money for me, your master. You're such a diligent little slave creature, aren't you? I couldn't be prouder of you, or more sarcastic, for that matter.
You know, Tracy, I have to be honest with you. It really wouldn't hurt to call me Dad once in a while, instead of addressing me by my first name, don't you think?
Dad? Did I actually read that correctly? It's laughable to think that someone like you deserves to be called my dad. That word is far too fancy for a wordless nobody like you. If you want any recognition as my father, you better step up your game and start earning me more money. Because as of now, all I see is a useless loser who can't even make decent cash and can't even properly raise his own daughter. Pathetic, really.
What do you mean by that? You don't even have a clue about what I do for a living or how much I earn each month. It's totally unacceptable for you to throw around insults like calling me a loser without knowing the full picture.
Oh, great. Another round of your complaints. Fine. Answer me this. What the hell were you thinking with that hideous dress you gave me on my birthday? It's so disgustingly ugly that even homeless people would reject it. Seriously, it's only fit to be a floor cleaning rag or something. How thoughtful of you to gift me such a fashion disaster.
What on earth are you talking about? Isn't that the exact dress you specifically asked me to buy for you as a birthday gift? That red one from your favorite brand? I did what you told me to do. So what's the problem now?
You know what? I used to be all about that dress back then, but now? Nah, not feeling it anymore. It's like so outdated and just plain dumb, so I threw it in the trash without a second thought. Now, here's the deal. I need you to hook me with a new dress that I can actually vibe with. Can you make that happen for me?
Whoa, hold up there. You're telling me you went ahead and threw that dress in the trash? Come on now, kiddo. That dress is practically fresh out of the box. And it cost a pretty penny, like a whopping $1,000. We could have done something better with it, you know. Donating it or putting it online for someone who could really use it would have been the right move. It's a real waste of money and materials if we just toss it aside like that.
Seriously? As if I would even give a damn about that stuff. Just a friendly reminder. I'm the princess here, and we all know that the princess always gets her way. Oh, by the way, cut the crap and quit the kiddo daughter or whatever nonsense you've been spouting. I'm the freaking princess around here. So, here's a little puzzle for you. Any idea when you'll swing by home to snag me a fresh new dress? I've got this party going down today, and I want to totally slay when I stroll with my boo, hand in hand.
Well, kiddo, I can't say for sure, but there's a good chance I'll be getting home late today. Gotta put in some overtime at work, you know how it goes. I'll try to hustle back home as quickly as possible.
Oh, hold up there, Mr. High and Mighty. Working overtime again, huh? Wow, what a real winner we've got here. It's truly mind-boggling how you bent over backwards for that pathetic job of yours and managed to earn peanuts in return. I don't take no for an answer. I demand that you drop everything for instant and chauffeur me to the mall for a shopping spree. I absolutely need my new dress like yesterday. Chop chop, loser.
Tracy, I'm right in the middle of work here. Could you do me a favor and try to be a bit less demanding sometimes?
You actually think your stupid job is more important than your own daughter's future? Wow, what a stellar father you are. I've already made it crystal clear that I have plans with my boyfriend to go to a party today. But of course, that's too much for your feeble little brain to comprehend, isn't it? Can't you at least attempt to learn the basics of human language so you can communicate with actual people? It's mind-boggling how utterly stupid you are. No wonder no one wants to date you, and you're so pathetically single after all this time.
Hold on a second, Tracy. Did I just hear you right? Show a little respect for the person who works tirelessly every single day to provide for you and pay for everything you enjoy.
Oh, please. Respect for you? What a joke. You always reek like a dumpster whenever you stumble home from work. I'm beyond disgusted to have a worthless slob like you as my dad. It's utterly embarrassing that you work at a vet. Seriously, you're better suited to be my servant than my actual father.
Wait a minute. What's all this nonsense? What's so terrible about me working at a vet? Every job deserves respect and appreciation. And let me tell you, working at a vet is actually a noble profession. I have the privilege of rescuing and taking care of the health of countless pets. Those furry creatures are more than just animals to many people. They're best friends and cherished family members. They hold a special place in their owners' hearts and lives. So don't you dare belittle the importance of what I do.
Oh, sure. Like I give a damn about your nonsense. I'm well aware that you're a pathetic failure, but that doesn't mean you have the right to bring me down to your miserable level. I have an amazing life and a promising future ahead of me, so you better start taking good care of me. Get off, you lazy butt, and get your sorry self back home this instant. And while you're at it, take me to the mall to buy a new dress. Chop chop!
Come on now, is it really that urgent? You're already 17. Aren't you old enough to go to the mall on your own?
Hello? I'm a freaking princess. Don't you remember? It's like a rule that I can even set foot outside without my entourage. Duh! Of course, I have to shield myself from all the potential dangers lurking out there. You know, those creepy perverts who just can't resist targeting young, gorgeous girls like moi. Ugh, it's such a burden being this stunning and regal.
What in the world are you going on about? Why do you keep referring to yourself as a princess? You're 17 years old, not a little girl anymore. It's time to let go of those make-believe fantasies and focus on reality. Acting like a fictional character doesn't really suit you at this age, you know? Plus, you do realize you can always order a new dress online, right? It's not like there aren't other options available. Let's think about being a bit more practical here.
Oh, give me a break. What on earth are you blabbering about? Do you honestly expect me to buy some cheap, ugly dresses online? Ew! Obviously, I'm a princess. And you're just a pathetic little servant. So keep your mouth shut and know your place. Got it? If you want me to venture out into the world without any company, then you better hire me a team of bodyguards. I demand constant protection, you see. I can't risk being exposed to the common folk without my royal escort. So get on it, servant, and make it happen.
What in the world? Tracy, you're becoming increasingly absurd. Look, you're 17 years old now. It's time to start figuring things out on your own. I'm swamped with work and can't spare the time to accompany you to the mall. That's it. I'm turning off my phone for now. We'll talk later when I get back, and hopefully by then, you'll have realized you can handle the situation by yourself.
What's with that pathetic attitude, you lowly servant? Now you have the audacity to defy my orders? You've really gotten way too big for your butts, haven't you, Dexter? I demand you to get your sorry self back here immediately. Oh, you better believe there will be consequences when you come home. I'm gonna make sure you experience a world of pain for daring to ignore me like this. Just you wait and see, you insolent little worm. Hey, Dexter, don't forget to drag your sorry self home early and whip up a nice meal for me. Oh, and don't forget to make an additional portion for one more person. Got it?
Cooking for one more person? Is your friend coming over to pay us a visit, Tracy?
Listen up, you simpleton. My boyfriend is making his grand entrance today. Ready to grace us with his presence in this filthy little house of yours. In other words, he will move in and live together with us. And let me remind you, as my lowly servant, it is your undeniably important duty to plan a lavish party, fit for a royalty, to properly welcome my beloved. Is that crystal clear? You had the audacity to disappoint me last time. But mark my words, you better not dare to repeat the pathetic performance. Understood?
Hold on just a minute there, young lady. Let me get this straight. You're telling me that your boyfriend is moving in with us? Are you out of your mind? Last time I checked, I don't recall granting you permission to go ahead with this little arrangement.
Whoa, hold your horses there, buddy. Permission? That's a good one. Let's get something straight. You've got a role in this household, and it's definitely not one of authority. You're more like my personal sidekick. Well, I, on the other hand, am the radiant princess of this castle. And guess what? This princess has made a decision. My boyfriend is moving in, and that's the end of the story. Now, I suggest you think twice before you go and upset your precious princess. Consider yourself lucky to have the privilege of contributing to the life of such a highly esteemed and dignified royalty like me. Don't push it, pal.
Let's have a reality check here. It's about time you stop going on about being a princess or some sort of royalty. Frankly, it doesn't make a lot of sense, and you should know better.
You really think you're making sense with that attitude? Why did a lowly servant like you think it's appropriate to spout off your silly opinions? Save yourself the embarrassment and remember your place in this family, alright? Anyway, when you finally come home, lend a hand to my boyfriend. Help him unpack his stuff and make sure everything is in its rightful place. Oh, by the way, he's gonna be using your room, so you better clear out your belongings and make some space for him. Got it?
Goodness gracious, he's seriously going to stay in my room? And where am I supposed to crash now? This is absolutely unacceptable, Tracy. You must put a stop to this immediately. Tell your boyfriend to find his own place and bounce. Living like this is majorly inconvenient, you feel me?
Hey, what's your deal? Didn't I just make myself abundantly clear? In this house, you're nothing more than a pathetic servant, so your opinion doesn't count for a squat. Got it? Now, why don't you do us all a favor and obediently follow my commands? Don't fret. If you manage to grovel enough, I might even toss you a bone or two as a reward for your undying loyalty to your superior. See how kind I am towards you?
Hey, old geezer, take a wild guess who you're talking to right now.
Excuse me, but who are you? Do I know you?
What dumb question is that? Obviously, we haven't met before, so of course you don't know me. But hey, since we're gonna be stuck under the same roof soon, I suppose I'll be a bit gracious and give you the lowdown. I'm Connor, Tracy's boyfriend. Ta-da! Surprise!
Tracy's boyfriend. Oh, so you're the one my daughter mentioned. The guy who's supposedly moving into my house?
Yep, it's yours truly, the awesome Connor. Pleasure to meet you, Gramps. Tracy has filled me in on all the juicy details about you. Apparently, you're like the ultimate failure, right? Haha, gotta love that. She spilled the beans that it's been a whopping 7 years since you divorced your wife, and you're still flying solo. Talk about being a total loser. But hey, not to brag or anything, but I'm quite the catch. I can have any girl I set my sights on, no problemo. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I'm a freaking girl magnet or something.
Oh, really? So I guess you got yourself quite the lineup of girlfriends, huh?
Oh, you better believe it. I've got a whole crew of gorgeous, irresistible ladies lining up to be with me. I've got this impressive collection of girls I'm dating, you know? It's just the way things go when you're as awesome as me. Let's face it, I'm handsome and loaded with cash. Well, you're just a regular old Gramps who can't even handle basic hygiene properly. It's crazy how someone like you ended up being the father of a hottie like Tracy, right? Mind-boggling, really.
Oh, and does my daughter have any clue about this whole girlfriend collection of yours?
No way, man. I gotta keep that under wraps from her, you know? You think I'm dumb or something? If she ever finds out, she'll straight up murder me, like no joke.
Alright, I get it. By the way, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? Only if you're comfortable sharing that information, of course.
Oh, my age? I'm actually 30, dude. Nice to meet you, old geezer.
Wait, what? You are seriously 30? Oh my god. Are you even aware that my daughter is only 17? This is absolutely unbelievable.
So what if I'm 30? Why does age have to be such a big deal? As long as we love each other, who cares about the numbers? There's nothing wrong with us being together, alright? Listen up, Gramps. Mind your own business. You don't get a say in this matter. Got it? Tracy already clued me in on everything. In her house, you're just a lowly servant, and it's probably best if you keep playing that role. Oh, and by the way, nice threads you've got here. Gotta admit, this white shirt looks pretty sharp on me.
Huh. What do you mean by that?
Oh, what else? I'm just giving you props for having some fashion sense. Shouldn't you be grateful for the compliment? It's not every day you receive praise from someone as awesome as me, right?
That's not the main issue here. What did you mean by saying this white shirt looks sharp on you?
Well, duh. I'm currently in your room checking out your wardrobe. Gotta admit, you've got some high quality clothes in here. No denying that. I bet these babies cost a pretty penny. Like hundreds or even thousands of dollars per item. So spill the beans. Where did you get them? Did you swipe them from somewhere?
Wait, hold on. You're saying you're in my room right now? How dare you invade my personal space like that? Get out of there right this instant.
What are you even going on about, old geezer? Tracy made it clear that your room would be mine. So I'm just taking a peek around my room. What's the big deal?
I never agreed to you taking over my room or moving into my house in the first place. This room belongs to me, so you have no right to do anything without my consent.
What's your deal, man? It might be your house now, but let's face it. Eventually, Tracy's gonna inherit it, and it'll be under her possession, right? So why not just hand it over already, you greedy old geezer? Let's be real. You don't have that much time left on this planet. Aren't you, like, what, 50? 60 years old? So what's the point of clinging onto this house? It's not like you can take it with you to the grave or anything.
Connor, I'm not messing around here. Get out of my room right this second.
Well, well, well. Look who's trying to be a tough guy. Threatening me? Hilarious. You're nothing but a pathetic loser. And hey, I gotta admit, this watch of yours is pretty nice. It'll definitely add a touch of class to my already fabulous outfit.
That's it. I've already contacted the police, Connor, and they're on their way to apprehend you. It's in your best interest to leave my house immediately. Otherwise, you'll be arrested for trespassing. So, what's your decision? Will you get out of my house voluntarily, or do you want to wait for the police to take action?
Excuse me? Are you really threatening to dial up the cops on me now? You wouldn't actually have the guts to pull a move like that. Cut it out with your empty threats already. Wait a sec. Do I hear a siren? That sounds suspiciously like a police car. No way! Dexter! You sneaky old bat. Don't tell me you actually went ahead and called the cops on me.
Well, guess what? I totally did call them. So you better haul your butt out of my house right freaking now, you little brat. I'm being dead serious, and I don't want to have to say it twice.
Hey there, old-timer. You all patched up from that little smackdown I delivered?
What was going through your head when you decided to whack me in the back with a fire extinguisher out of nowhere? Answer me. Why did you just randomly attack me like that?
Well, that's payback for getting me locked up in jail and stalking me like a total weirdo at my parents' company. Consider yourself lucky that my folks are stinking rich and bailed me out of the joint real quick. Otherwise, I'd make sure your life becomes one never-ending nightmare.
What in the world are you going on about? I wasn't following you. I went there because I had a crucial meeting with my business partner.
Business partner's my ass. I bet you caught wind of my family's crazy wealth and thought you could just swoop in and take over my parents' company, right? What a low blow. Newsflash, pal. Sooner or later, my folks are gonna hand the reins to me. And I'll be the big shot CEO. I can already picture you crawling on your knees, begging for my forgiveness when that day comes.
Yeah, like I'd ever stoop that low.
Let me make one thing clear. No matter what you do, or how much you plead, I will never get back together with your daughter. You crossed the line by involving the cops, and now she's got to face the consequences.
Listen, I couldn't care less if you get back together with my daughter or not. You seem to have this inflated sense of self-importance, don't you? Well, let me give it to you straight. You're nothing but a self-deluded jerk. Oh, and by the way, you can go ahead and inform your parents that the idea of extending the contract is a no-go. It's not happening, plain and simple.
Are you spacing out or what? What's the deal with you bringing up my parents and their contract?
Well, let me fill you in on something. My company has been the major trading partner for your parents' company for quite some time now. Basically, they've been depending on my company to stay competitive in their industry for almost a decade. So if I were to terminate all the contracts with your parents' company, I can guarantee it would deal a heavy blow, and they'd likely face some serious consequences.
What? Are you saying this for real? I bet you're just bluffing, right? There's no way a useless slob like you could be a company owner. That just doesn't sound right at all.
Well, unfortunately for you, I'm a company owner. I've been running a chain of vet clinics for years now, and I happen to be the biggest consumer of your parents' vet supplies. So if your parents still decide to hand over their company to you, I'll have no choice but to refuse to extend all my contracts with them.
Wait, hold up. Are you seriously trying to pressure my parents not to give me their company?
Well, I'm actually doing them a huge favor. Let's face it, you simply don't possess the necessary qualities to be the owner of a company. In fact, I would argue that you don't even meet the minimum requirements to be considered a decent human being. To be honest, the only reason I've been doing business with your parents' company is out of respect for the former president, who happens to be your grandfather. However, there are plenty of other suppliers out there who can offer me similar quality products at lower prices. So if your parents insist on handing over the company to you once you're out of jail, I'm fully resolved to sever all contracts with their company.
Wait, hold up. Did I just read that right? Did you just mention jail?
That's right. I have already pressed charges against you for assault. You'll be serving a prison sentence and will also be required to compensate me for the medical expenses I incurred.
What? Are you really calling the cops on me again? That's just plain outrageous. Have you completely lost it? Drop those charges now, or else I'll make sure my parents teach you a lesson you won't forget.
Well, gotta take out the trash and make society a better place to live, am I right? Anyway, hope you have a blast in jail. Best of luck.
Hey, word on the street is you're some fancy pansio, huh? That's pretty rad, you little workhorse. Honestly, I had no clue about that. I'm totally proud of you, my loyal servant.
And why are you asking me this?
Oh, quit pretending you don't know. Now that I know you're loaded, I'll have you grinding even harder to rake in more dough for me. Yeah, that's me, a total genius. Since you got my boyfriend locked up, you better figure out a way to make it up for me. Got it?
Well, guess what, genius? You're getting the boot from my house. So start packing up your stuff and get out of here ASAP. Hurry it up.
Huh? What did you just say?
Listen up, kiddo. I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's high time you pack up and hit the road. Wasn't that crystal clear to you?
Wait, what? You're actually kicking me out? No way, you can't do that. I'm just a teenager. I'm only 17 years old. That's like totally illegal.
Newsflash for you, you're already 18 now. Actually, you just had your birthday not too long ago, right?
Aw, come on. It may say I'm 18 on paper, but deep down, I'm still a kid. I'm super vulnerable. Seriously. Please, pretty please, don't kick me out. I'm begging you.
No can do. Sorry, you're all grown up now. It's time to face the real world and make your own way. You've been too reliant on me. You've been enjoying the benefits of my hard work while still disrespecting your old man. But now it's time for you to go out there and fend for yourself. Take care, Tracy. After being released from jail, Connor faced disappointment when his parents refused to hand over the reins of their company to him. The truth was, they had known all along that he lacked the qualities of a leader. Instead of learning from his parents, Connor had indulged in bad habits and temporary pleasures. To make matters worse, Connor was kicked out of his parents' house after his release. He tried seeking revenge on me by visiting my company multiple times. Unfortunately for him, he chose the same day I had a meeting with his parents, and they gave him a stern scolding. Frustrated by his failed attempts to get back at me, Connor turned to Tracy and demanded to live with her. Now, they share a small apartment room and engage in irregular arguments. Well, at least Tracy finally got her wish of living together with Connor. As for me, I've been thoroughly enjoying my job as the owner of a chain of veterinary clinics. I've worked incredibly hard to reach this point, and I take pride in my accomplishments. Not long after, I met a kind woman who shares my passion for caring for animals. Somewhere up in heaven, I know my wife is looking down on me and feeling happy for my newfound happiness.
Hey there, Lydia! What's cracking? I've got some wicked news to share. So get ready to have your excitement levels go through the roof.
Hello, Austin. What's the scoop? I'm genuinely excited to hear about it.
Alright, check it out. I've got something totally mind-blowing happening in my life, but I'm not sure if it'll get you as pumped up as it does for me. Anyway, brace yourself, cause here it comes. Cynthia is expecting our third kid! Booyah!
No way! Congrats, you two! I'm truly thrilled for you. It's crazy how time flies, right? Feels like your wedding was just yesterday, and now you're already on baby number 3? That's freaking awesome!
I know, right? My wife Cynthia is like a total fertility powerhouse, I swear. 3 kids deep and still rocking it. It's insane how she managed to bless me with 2 gorgeous and healthy munchkins in no time. And now, we're gearing up for number 3. Seeing our family tree grow bigger brings me so much joy, you know? And honestly, I wouldn't mind adding a couple more Rugrats to the mix. Just imagine the crazy fun times we'd have as a big old family, right? It's gonna be epic!
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. By the way, did you spill the beans to Mom as well?
Oh, you bet I told Mom. And as I figured, she was over the moon when she found out. She even mentioned throwing a massive party to celebrate this incredible news. But hey, let's shift gears for a sec. What's the latest with you and Michael? Any luck on the baby front yet?
Well, you know the drill. We've been grinding through fertility treatments for like a year and a half now, but the stork hasn't dropped off a bundle of joy just yet. It can be pretty tough sometimes, but I'm grateful that Michael's always got my back and supports me through it all.
Whoa, 1.5 years? That's like next level patience. So, Lydia, have you ever thought about throwing in the towel? Because I really don't think it's gonna work out for you, you know? Let's be real, you're infertile. I mean, you're not too dumb to know what infertile actually means, right? You got that, yeah?
Wait, Austin, what's going on? Why are you suddenly saying these things to me? You know I'm struggling to conceive, and that's exactly why I'm putting in my best effort to follow the doctor's advice to have a baby. You don't have to be so direct and upfront with me, seriously. Can we please talk about this in a more understanding way?
Well, I was just being real, and you know how the truth can sting, right? Look, I'm just saying all of this because I care about you. I don't want to see you throwing away money on something that won't help you and won't give you results. Seriously, those doctors are just trying to scam you, don't you see? Wake up, they're totally taking advantage of you.
Hey, just so you know, nobody forced me into going through all those treatments. It was my decision, and I genuinely believe in what I'm doing. I have faith in it.
Man, it really must suck not being able to have a child, huh? I can't even imagine. Well, since I've never been in your shoes, you'll have to fill me in.
Seriously? I can't believe you're saying this stuff when you know I'm giving it all to have a child. It's really hurtful, Austin. The least you could do is apologize to me.
I'm just calling it as I see it. Look, instead of throwing your cash at those infertility treatments, Why not hook me up? You know my wife's expecting another kiddo, right? That means our family's growing, and with that comes extra expenses. So, how about you ditch those treatments and hand over the money to me? I could use it to take better care of my family.
Huh? What's up with that request? Who do you think you are, telling me what to do with my own money? It's my decision, not yours.
Oh, come on. Don't be so tight-fisted when it comes to your own family. I mean, you and your hubby have pretty decent jobs with a decent income, right? So why not lend a hand to me and my wife? Honestly, we're going through a major financial struggle right now, and we could really use your support. I swear, I'll pay you back as soon as I can, no doubt about it.
Really? You're hitting me up for cash once again? Do you even realize that I've been lending you money for months now? And guess what? You never bother to pay any of it back. That's why I made up my mind that I'm done sending you any more money. You've completely shattered my trust in you.
I can't believe you reject your one and only brother like that. You're aware that I've been jobless for nearly 3 freaking years, right? Honestly, I'm in a tight spot right now, struggling to support my family because I'm flat broke. Lydia, could you do me a favor and help me out? You're the only one I have left to rely on.
What about Mom? I heard you've been asking her for money too, huh? Did she turn you down as well?
Well, Mom's tossing me some cash, but let me tell you, it's just not cutting it. Seriously, how am I supposed to support 2 kids and a pregnant wife with the measly amount she sends me each month? It barely covers my bus fare, let alone anything else.
Then why don't you make an effort to find a job for yourself?
Are you serious? How am I supposed to go to work knowing that I have a pregnant wife all alone at home? Obviously, I have to stay and take care of her. You know I've always been a caring and thoughtful husband, right?
And honestly, if you're facing financial difficulties, why on earth are you and Cynthia expanding your family even more? I honestly can't wrap my head around what you were thinking when you made that decision.
Well, you know how Mom is all about grandkids, right? I just want to make our dear mother proud of me, plain and simple. Plus, isn't it true that the more, the merrier? I promise, once my wife pops out our 3rd child, I'll get back to work, alright?
You made the same promise the last 2 times, and guess what? You never followed through with getting a job, even after your wife gave birth to your 2 kids.
Why are you suddenly getting all up in my business? Is it because you're jealous that my wife and I can have kids while you can't? Man, you're even more pathetic and spiteful than I thought, Lydia. Anyway, let's drop that topic. Are you gonna lend me some money or what? I'm seriously in a tight spot here.
I'm sorry, Austin, but I have to say no. It's high time for you to grow up and take responsibility for your own life. If I keep giving you money, you'll just keep coming back for more and more. Honestly, my genuine advice is for you to find a job and start earning your own income. Let's face it, you can't keep depending on me and Mom forever, right?
Okay, I get it. I asked for money, not a lecture, you know? Can't believe you're my sister. You're just so full of yourself and terrible. But fine, I'll figure out my own way to make money. No need for your help.
Hey Lydia, I really need to have a chat with you about something. And it's like super duper urgent. So respond to me ASAP.
Mom? What's up? What do you want to talk about?
I can't believe you actually said no to your own brother's request. He straight up told you he needed money to support his family, and you just shut him down. What kind of sister does that? Seriously.
Huh? Did Austin already tell you about it?
Of course he did, and I'm actually glad he filled me in. You know better than anyone that my son is going through a major financial struggle, yet you just sit around doing nothing? Wow. I must say, you should feel ashamed for even considering yourself a human being. Let me tell you, no real human would refuse to lend a hand to their own family, especially in times of need.
What's your point, Mom? It's not like it's the first time Austin has asked for money from me. I've lent him money countless times before, but he never bothered to pay me back. That's why I made the decision to stop lending him anymore. Can't you see? This whole financial mess is entirely his doing. If he didn't have so many kids, none of this would have even happened.
You truly are ridiculous, Lydia. Seriously, is it because you can't have kids that you're feeling all jealous of my son? You didn't lend him any money because you secretly want his whole family to suffer and starve, huh? I see right through your twisted little scheme, Madison. Stop being so selfish and send your brother the money he needs. You do realize that his wife is expecting, right?
What in the world are you going on about? I'm well aware that Austin's wife is expecting their third child, and I couldn't be happier for them. However, it's not my responsibility or concern that he randomly came asking me for money like that. He needs to figure things out on his own, plain and simple. Let's turn the tables here, shall we? If you're so concerned about Austin, why don't you step up and help him with his financial problems instead of expecting me to do it?
Huh! Just look at you, acting all entitled and bratty. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be here, strutting around like you're so superior. I didn't bring you into this world for no reason, you know. It's time for you to step up as my daughter and lend a hand to your brother.
Can you please stop enabling Austin all the time? He's turned into a man-child because of your constant support. He doesn't even bother going to work. All he knows is asking for money from either you or me to get by each day. Look at Austin. He's a grown adult now, and he has his own family to take care of. Don't you think it's about time he learns to be independent and stand on his own 2 feet?
Wow! What a lovely speech you just gave me. Are you trying to lecture me, your own mother, the one who brought you into this world? Absolutely absurd. You should realize that you don't have a say in this family. Do you? By the way, how long have you been married?
For about 4 years now. Why do you ask?
Oh my goodness. 4 whole years and still no kids? Are you kidding me? I can't believe I brought someone as incompetent as you into this world. You know what? It only took me 2 years after marrying your dad to have you and your brother. What good is a woman if she can't even have children? You're practically useless.
What are you even talking about, Madison? You should know more than anyone that I'm also doing everything I can to have children, right? It's completely unfair that you're putting me down like this.
Oh, please. Spare me the crocodile tears. We all know you've been undergoing infertility treatments for over a year now. And still no luck. Your brother is actually onto something. Why don't you quit those pointless treatments and put that money to better use, like helping him provide for his children? Seriously? Enough with the meanness and selfishness. You do realize your chances of having kids are literally 0, right?
No, Madison. It's actually you and Austin who are being selfish. I don't care what you say. I won't give up on my treatment, okay? So you don't have to waste any more of your precious time trying to convince me otherwise, because it's not going to happen. Anyways, I have something more important to take care of, so I won't be available to talk with you.
Hey, what's up, you infertile pig? Seriously, you're gonna bail on your mom like that? We're in the middle of a conversation, for heaven's sake. Come back here. I'm not finished with you. I'm dead serious. Don't you dare walk away. Hey, Lydia, when will your mother hurry up and die, huh? I've been waiting forever and there's no end in sight. Seriously, my patience is wearing thin. Like, super thin.
Wait, what's going on, Cynthia? Why are you spouting this stuff out of nowhere? And seriously, why would you even wish for my mom to be gone? I mean, I get that she may not be your favorite person, but wishing death upon her is just way overboard. Can you at least explain why you're dropping this bombshell?
Well, if you want the full story, you should definitely hit up Austin. I'm totally clueless, I swear. All I've been doing is following his orders, which basically boil down to popping out as many kids as I can. That's all there is to it. No fancy stuff.
Hold up, seriously? Austin actually told you to have as many kids as possible? Jeez, did he even stop to think about your financial situation right now? I mean, bringing a child into this world and taking care of them isn't exactly pocket change, you know? You should be well aware by now that having more kids means an even heavier financial burden on your family.
Well, honestly, I'm not sweating it too much when it comes to money and all that jazz. I mean, once your mom kicks the bucket, everything will magically work itself out, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
What do you mean by that? I seriously don't understand.
Wow, do you really have to be that dense, Lydia? I mean, I always knew that barren women are dumb, but I didn't expect you to take the cake. It's a miracle your husband Michael is still putting up with you after all this time. If I were him, I would have hit the road ages ago. No doubt about it. I bet he'd cringe at the thought of marrying you if he knew you couldn't have kids. Well, anyways, it won't be long before Michael calls it quits and finds himself a proper wife. You're such a failure, Lydia. Must really suck to be in your shoes.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but Michael isn't going anywhere, okay? He won't leave me for some other woman, that's for sure. We love each other for who we truly are, not because of any other reasons. It's about time you grew up, Cynthia.
Yeah, sure, whatever you say. Do you happen to know what name Austin saved your contact under in his phone? Infertile Mule.
Well, considering his track record of making fun of my situation, I'm not even shocked that he would give my contact a name like that.
Yeah, it's just so hilarious, right? I mean, what kind of creature can't even breed? Gross. It's downright pathetic. If you can't even have functioning baby-making parts, then what are you? Some kind of robot? Or a total freak of nature? Whatever you are, you still gross me out the same way. But hey, look on the bright side. At least you don't have to deal with all the pregnancy hassle. Actually, there are women out there who would love to have your problem. It's like living a carefree life without protection. Thankfully, infertility isn't contagious, or else humanity would be doomed.
Can you please cut it out with the insults already? You've made your point crystal clear, so there's no need to keep spewing all this nonsense. Just get to the point already. Why did Austin pressure you into having as many kids as possible? And what's with the terrible death wish from my mom? Spill all the details. I want to know everything.
Whoa, hold up. Are you seriously that eager to uncover the truth? You're like a sucker, falling for my little game. Obviously, I'm not gonna spill the beans. I'm not dumb like you know.
Oh, really? That's too bad. Because I had quite an interesting offer lined up for you.
An interesting offer, you say? What's it all about? Is it something to do with money? If it's money you're talking about, count me in.
Alright, listen up and follow my instructions carefully. And in return, I'll reward you with something equally worthwhile for being honest. Sound good?
Something equally worthwhile, you ask? How much are we talking about here? Hold on a sec. Are you trying to pull something sneaky? I'm warning you. Don't even think about setting me up, because I'm not that easily fooled.
Hey, no need to be so defensive. I just want to ask you a few questions, alright? I promise it won't cause you any harm. And as for the reward, I'll give you a mind-blowing truth in return. So, what do you say? A fair exchange, right? I guarantee the information I have will actually benefit you rather than harm you.
Wait, hold up. You're saying there's no money involved? I was kind of hoping for a couple $1,000 in return, but are you absolutely sure that your piece of knowledge will benefit me?
Come on, have I ever lied to you before? Well, this juicy tidbit I have for you is also money related, you know? If you're still unsure, I'm willing to spill the secrets first. Then you can decide whether to share the truth you've been hiding or not. So, what do you say?
Ugh, fine. It seems like a hassle, but okay. We'll do it your way. Tell me your secret, and then I'll answer your dumb questions.
Lydia, why the sudden divorce talk from Cynthia? I'm seriously clueless here. She claimed it's because you said something that upset her and made her want to split. Is that really true?
Well, it's not a big deal, honestly. I simply told Cynthia the plain truth about our mom.
The plain truth about our mom? What exactly do you mean by that? And why does that have anything to do with me or Cynthia?
We'll get to that later. I need you to confirm something. It's about this wicked plan of yours to harm our mother. Cynthia told me that you've been tampering with her food using some kind of poison, aiming to make her gradually lose her sanity. All this so you can seize control of her house and other assets, right? Don't even think about denying it. Because Cynthia herself revealed the truth.
What? Where did you even come up with this idea? Are you just trying to give me a fright? Because let me tell you, it's not working. Actually, if you keep spreading these made-up tales about me, I could easily sue you for defamation. So think twice before you continue with these imaginary stories.
Well, I'm not making this up out of thin air, you know. Cynthia has already confessed to everything. In fact, I even have an audio recording of her spilling every single detail about your wicked plot to harm our mother and take away her inheritance.
Seriously, how could Cynthia be so stupid, that useless cow? I specifically told her to keep her trap shut.
Of course. I also know the reason behind why you pressured your wife to have as many kids as possible. It's all because you want your children to be included in our mother's will and inherit the majority of her assets when she's no longer with us, right?
Uh-oh, did Cynthia spill that too? Jeez, I can't believe I'm stuck with such a ridiculously dumb wife. Can't she keep her mouth shut even just once?
Well, I hate to disappoint you, but Cynthia isn't exactly as dumb as you make her out to be. Sorry to break it to you, but you're the one who's been deceived all this time, and by the person closest to you, your own wife.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to play some messed up prank to freak me out? Well, let me warn you, there's no chance I'm falling into your trap. I happen to be way smarter than you stare-out fool.
Oh, really? If you're as clever as you say, then why have you been raising another guy's kids all this while? Tough luck, huh?
What, raising someone else's kids? Are you out of your mind? Why are you saying such crazy stuff? Hold on, are you implying that my kids might not exactly be my kids?
Bingo! Good thinking. Wow, I'm genuinely impressed. I had no idea you had such a knack for coming up with quick answers. I guess you're not as dim as I thought you were after all.
Hold on a second. Are you calling me stupid? How dare you? You have no right to say that, you freak of nature. You can't even have kids of your own. You're just trash, damaged goods, and a total waste of oxygen. You don't even deserve to exist.
Whoa, look who's talking tough. Listen up, Austin. I'll say this loud and clear, so pay close attention. You're raising someone else's kids, not biologically yours. It means Cynthia cheated on you. She's having an affair with another guy, and those kids belong to him, not you. If you don't believe me, go ahead and take a paternity test. But trust me, the results won't be much different from what I just told you.
This is absolutely insane. You're telling me Cynthia was sneaking around with another guy all this time? Unbelievable. Wait, does this mean... No way. It can't be. It just can't be. I can't wrap my head around it. I refuse to accept it.
Well. Look who's incapable of having kids. Surprise, surprise. Imagine that, being infertile and raising the kids of your wife's lover? Ouch! That's gotta sting like crazy.
No way! What the heck are you blabbering about? I'm not infertile. I'm perfectly normal and healthy. In fact, I can have as many kids as I please. It's actually you who should be childless, not me. You're the infertile mule.
Oh, I totally forgot to mention the great news. All my efforts have paid off. Get ready for it. Drum roll, please. I'm officially pregnant now.
Huh? You? You're pregnant? How's that even possible? Nah, I don't believe it. It doesn't make any sense. 0 sense. Quit with your lies, you barren cow. You're just simply out of your mind.
Well, look who's so bitter they can't even handle the truth. I get it though. I suppose it'll take some time for all the bombshells I just dropped to sink in, right?
Wait, something doesn't add up here. Why would my wife even share all of this with you? It doesn't make any sense. If she's cheating on me, she would try to keep it under wraps, right? There's no way she would just spill the beans about her affairs to you, because you'd probably expose it all to me.
Well, what you said holds true only if Cynthia still wants to be married to you. But in this case, it's quite the opposite. In fact, she has already asked for a divorce from you, hasn't she?
But why? What did you say to Cynthia? Wait, you did mention something about a secret involving our mom. What is it? Spit it out already. My patience is running really low right now.
All right. Brace yourself for the truth. I'm well aware that you've been trying to mess with Mom's food to harm her, all in hopes of snatching her inheritance for yourself. Am I right? But here's the thing. There's no valuable fortune that she's leaving behind in her will for you to claim. I know you made Cynthia all sorts of promises about inheriting the majority of her estate once she's gone, right? Man, let me tell you, she was utterly disappointed when she found out the truth. She felt like she was nothing more than a pawn in your twisted game. And right then and there, she decided to end things with you and expose your entire evil plan.
What the heck are you going on about? Mom does own a house, and I bet it's worth a fortune in the market. And that house is going to be mine when Mom eventually kicks the bucket.
Oh, believe me, it's not even her house. It's my house, and it's under my name. In fact, I've got all the documents to prove it's my property. If you want, I can show you the papers to clear things up.
Huh? How is that even possible? How could it be your house?
Well, you see, Mom and Dad couldn't keep up with the house loans, so they had to transfer the contract under my name. And I've been the one paying off the loans all along. Surprise!
No way. No way. This is absolutely crazy. Are you telling me all the effort I've been putting in to take over Mom's inheritance is worthless?
Oh, absolutely not. Your efforts definitely aren't worthless, my dear brother. In fact, you've managed to achieve something truly remarkable. You've earned yourself a one-way ticket to the grand establishment we call prison. Bravo, big bro. I must say, I'm bursting with pride for your extraordinary accomplishment.
What? The prison? You must be pulling my leg, right? There's absolutely no way I'm ending up in that place. It's just not my scene, I'm telling you. Hey, Lydia, please don't go running to the police to report me. I don't deserve this kind of trouble. I deserve to have my own kids and live a joyful, worry-free life where money isn't even a concern, you know?
Well, keep on dreaming, Austin. Because let's face it, none of that fantasy world you're imagining is ever going to happen. Why not start accepting the fact that you're the big loser here, heading straight for prison for your despicable crime? I've got nothing else to say to you, big bro. Farewell.
Hold up, Lydia. You can't just leave me hanging like this. Say something. Anything. I need you here by my side, now more than ever. You've always been my amazing little sister. Please, spare your big bro this time, alright? I swear, I won't ever hurt her mom again, and I won't bring up your infertility in a hurtful way either. Lydia, I'm begging you, please respond to my messages.
Finally, Austin's misdeeds were brought to light, and Cynthia was also found guilty for having knowledge of her husband's crimes but failing to report them. As a result, they were both sent to where they belonged, prison. At least they knew they weren't going alone. Thankfully, Cynthia's lover stepped up and took custody of all 3 kids, promising to care for them. My mom was absolutely shocked when she discovered what her favorite son had done to her. She apologized to me and asked for my forgiveness for treating me unfairly. However, I'm not quite ready to forgive her just yet. Still, I can't help but feel some sympathy for her. It must be a harsh punishment to learn that she was deceived by her own son and daughter-in-law, and to have her own grandchildren taken away from her. As for me, I couldn't be happier to see my little angel growing inside me day by day. And finally, that wonderful day arrived when Michael and I welcomed a baby boy into our lives. We named him Angelo. We're incredibly grateful for everything we've achieved so far, and we're fully committed to standing by each other's side and overcoming any obstacles that come our way.
Aaron, where are you? Answer now! Aaron!
Oh, hello. It's been a while.
And why is that? Oh, I remember, because you haven't messaged me for 2 whole goddamn months! Good grief, young lady! Huh? Don't give me huh. I don't need to hear any attitude from you. I see you still got no awareness of the fact that you're a wife of this household.
No, but...
When your mother-in-law kindly goes out of her way to message you, you put whatever you're doing aside and respond immediately. That's one of the rules you live by as my son's wife. If you understand, please be more mindful next time. I am not done speaking yet. Quit your butting in and listen to what your mother-in-law has to say.
Oh.
Firstly, I recently saw a new apartment where you 2 got together for the first time. The place you went to live after you moved out?
Our new apartment?
And my God, you haven't been doing the housework at all, have you? The room was filthy. There were clothes scattered all over the floor and tissues left tossed all over the place. You didn't even wash the pots and pans. I've never seen such a sorry state. How could you call that place a home? Are there sweet wrappers and a ready meal? Hamburger boxes flowing out of the garbage all over the floor. Not to mention the mountain of empty beer cans on the table. My little Seth doesn't drink alcohol, so they could only be yours. They were, weren't they? Admit it.
No, I have allergies and break out in rashes when I drink alcohol.
Be quiet, young lady. I did not give you permission to speak.
Oh, sorry.
To top it all off, the place was covered in dust. You haven't been vacuuming at all, have you? I only allowed you to continue working after you got married because you said you'd have no problem juggling your work with the housework. But if you're not capable of looking after your husband, I suggest you resign immediately so you can focus on your womanly duties. This is why women should stay at home housewives once they are married.
Are you finished now?
What?
You appear to be making a lot of misconceptions, so allow me to correct you.
Don't talk back to me, young lady.
Me and Seth are already divorced.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Huh? If you know, then why are you throwing around words like mother-in-law and wife?
Why wouldn't I? Come on, Aaron. Please use your brain for once. Even if you're divorced, as long as you and my little Seth are living together, you're still his wife. And you still have a role to fulfill in our family. It's your sacred duty and obligation to serve your husband with devotion and loyalty, and to display the proper respect towards me, your mother-in-law.
Do you have any idea how little sense what you're saying makes? The fact that we're divorced already makes us strangers now. We stopped being a couple and started leading separate lives the moment the divorce was finalized. Which is why any notion that I have to look after or fulfill my womanly duties towards him are ridiculous, plain and simple.
I already warned you, young lady. Don't talk back to your mother-in-law.
I'm not talking back. I'm having a normal conversation with you, like a reasonable human being.
Reasonable? Which part? Let me say it once more. I'll make it crystal clear this time to help you understand. Any woman who doesn't look after her husband is a failure of a wife. If you can't keep on top of the housework while working, then hurry up and quit your job already. How about I contact your company and tell them you've decided to step down to focus on being a housewife?
No, stop it. I don't think there's any danger of them taking a resignation declared by some stranger over the phone seriously. But I don't want to cause them any inconvenience.
Then just quit now while you still have some dignity left. Let's face it, after seeing how lazy you are at home, you're probably a burden to them too.
I'm not a burden, actually. I'm a high-valued employee. And besides, if I want to quit, I wouldn't be able to make ends meet.
Oh, don't talk such nonsense. Are you seriously saying that my little Seth's salary alone isn't enough to keep you going?
But I already told you we're not living that kind of life together anymore.
I think what you meant to say is that you're a shameful disappointment of a wife. Looking after the household by skillfully managing the finances is a wife's duty.
But we already divorced, and I'm not his wife anymore. How many times do I have to say it? Lord, give me strength.
Give it a rest. You're like a broken record. Just because you're divorced doesn't mean you can start neglecting the housework and living like swamp rats. Oh, my poor Seth.
In that case, you're wasting your time. I live in a different state now.
What?
My company offered me a transfer as soon as the divorce went through. So I took them up on it and moved out of the state.
Good grief. A wife who goes off on solo business ventures away from her family? I've never heard anything so absurd in my life.
Like I told you, I'm not your son's wife anymore. And you're not my family.
Quit your job and come back immediately.
Huh?
That said, I may be firm, but I'm also kind. Which is why I'm willing to grant you some leeway. Common sense dictates the resignation procedures usually take about a month. So I'm very kindly willing to give you 30 days to make the necessary arrangements and come back. I'll look after little Seth in the meantime. So hurry up and quit your job and move back here so you can be by our side again.
I told you, we're divorced.
Quit talking nonsense. Now you're just arguing for argument's sake, young lady.
Nonsense?
You heard me.
Hey, Seth. It's been a while. Is now a good time for you?
Is that Aaron? Hey! Yeah, long time no see.
Sorry to message you despite us being divorced and all.
That's cool, don't sweat it. It's not like we divorced because we don't get along. Maybe things will change when one of us finds someone else. But for the time being, there's no reason we can't message each other.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Thanks.
Anyway, what's up?
I want to speak to you about your mom.
Huh? My mom? She's not causing problems again, is she? Darn it.
Well, you could say she's causing problems. It's more that she doesn't listen to a word I say. It's like talking to a brick wall.
What happened?
Well, to sum it up, even if you are divorced, as long as you two live together, you're Seth's wife. And as long as you're his wife, you need to look after him. If you can't keep on top of the housework while working, then quit your job. That's basically the gist of it.
What did you say to her?
I told her that me and you are strangers since we divorced. And I keep insisting I'm not your wife anymore. So I have no obligation to do any of that. But she just keeps coming back at me with her favorite. I know you may be divorced, however, yada yada yada. The conversation goes nowhere because she ignores everything I say on a fundamental level. I give up. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Just like always, she refers to you as her little Seth. It's like you're an 8-year-old kid to her. Oh, I'm sorry. Does this still upset you?
Well, about that. As soon as our divorce went through, my dad also moved out, and now my parents are living separately. Ever since then, her over-interfering in my life reached levels previously unimaginable. It got so bad I couldn't take it anymore. I was so desperate to get away from her. I snuck out of the house in the middle of the night a week ago so I could finally be free of her.
I see. Sounds like it's been tough for you too, Seth.
My mom was the reason we divorced in the first place, after all. I felt so guilty about you having to put up with her. I thought at least if we divorced, you'd be able to escape from it all. But even that didn't work, did it? It would seem I underestimated her.
I'm fine, really. Don't worry about me. Actually, I got a transfer at the company, and I'm living far away in a different state. Now there's no danger of her following me and causing me problems. In fact, she couldn't possibly.
Oh, really? I'm pleased to hear that.
More importantly, what about you, Seth? If anything, it sounds like things might be more difficult on your end.
Me?
Well, you see, your mom insisted she was going to go over and start looking after you. Since I was failing to fulfill my womanly duties towards you with working all the time. Which means she must know your current address?
What? But I didn't tell her.
Really? Based on the messages yesterday, I kind of got the impression she was already at your apartment. Is there a chance she found your new address somehow and snuck in while you weren't home?
No, I really don't think that's possible.
You sure?
I got a transfer at work the other day too. I'm staying at a company-provided dormitory right now. The rules state that non-employees aren't allowed to enter without permission under any circumstances, even visiting family members. It's a long way from Mom's house. I don't think she can make it this far out, even if she did know my address.
I see. Huh.
Yeah, it's a mystery.
You can say that again.
Well, whatever. It's not like she can actually do anything to me.
You don't mind?
I have absolutely no intention of going back to the family home. I don't even read her messages these days. To be honest, I was thinking of blocking her soon. She can do what she likes. It's not my problem anymore. After everything that went down, for the sake of my mental health, I resolved never to tolerate her shenanigans ever again.
I see.
It's probably for the best for you to block her too, Aaron. I may be her son, but you two are literally strangers now. There's no reason you should have to put up with her irritating messages.
You make a good point. I couldn't help but feel a little wary about what she was planning on doing next. But actually, after keeping an eye on her a little while longer, just to be safe, I think I'm going to block her.
I think it's for the best. Anyway, I'm about to jump in the bath.
Sure. Thanks for today, Seth. Night-night.
Good night.
Aaron, answer! What the hell is going on? You've got some explaining to do.
What do you mean?
Some strange woman walked in while I was cleaning little Seth's room. She yelled, "Who are you? What are you doing in my apartment?" Before I could even figure out what was going on, some middle-aged guy bolted in. They started shouting like crazy lunatics and threatened to call the police. They were saying such awful things to me, Aaron. It was horrible. I was so startled I ran to the bathroom and locked myself in. What's going on? Explain.
Oh no, you didn't. Goodness me. There's no way. You didn't, by chance, enter a complete stranger's house, did you?
Huh?
Where are you right now?
In the apartment in Rainbow Town.
What? Oh my god. That's not the room in the tower block called Comfort Heights, is it? Tell me it isn't.
Yes, it is. What of it? Room 202. I came to clean this filthy mess of a room for my little Seth. Since you were too busy playing the important office lady to fulfill your womanly duties. You and little Seth are living together here, right?
Why do you think that?
Because there are 2 sets of plates and cutlery. But then this happened. I have no idea what's going on.
Listen, Marissa, the apartment you're in right now belonged to my aunt who let me stay with her for about 10 days after me and Seth finished with divorce proceedings.
Wait, what? Your aunt?
However, my aunt moved out a month ago. Based on what you're telling me, it seems like some new people moved in.
But that doesn't make any sense. I found this address in my little Seth's room. It was written on a notepad I found on his desk.
He probably wrote it down when I told him where I was staying.
Huh?
I had a lot of stuff when I moved out, but I didn't want to hang around and get in his way for too long. So he said if I forgot anything, he'd send it later on in the post. Which is why I told him I'd be staying at my aunt's until the end of the month and sent him her address. He probably just forgot to toss his old notepad in the trash.
How could this be? I thought he wrote down his new address for me so I could come and see him. Oh my god. The only reason I didn't try following him when he disappeared in the night is because I thought, knowing his address, I could go and see him whenever I wanted. If this isn't his apartment, where's my little Seth right now? Tell me!
Nope. Sorry. I don't even know myself.
I know you're lying. What kind of wife doesn't know where her husband lives? That just doesn't happen.
Like I said, me and your son are no longer married.
And like I said, even if you are divorced.
Want to know the reason why we got divorced, Marissa? Because of you.
What? Me?
Seth hates how you meddle in his life all the time. He told me you've been babying him and interfering with basically everything he ever does since he was a teenager. Then, when we married, you started acting like some kind of dictator trying to turn me into his personal slave. I was to cater to his every whim, at all times, regardless of what I wanted. He blamed himself, and his mental health took a turn for the worse. He stopped eating. He could barely sleep. He became a shell of his old self because of what you were putting me through.
Huh?
After a long, difficult decision, me and him decided that a divorce would be the best way to reduce the burden on both of us. So that's where we are now.
Oh my God. I just wanted my cherished, beloved Seth to be happy. Is that a crime?
He's the one who said he hates you interfering. You drove your son to the emotional and psychological brink with your psychotic behavior. Does that sound like happiness to you?
Oh my God. What is this? I don't even...
Is everything all right?
What do you mean?
I seem to remember you saying something about being locked in a stranger's bathroom.
This is bad. I can hear police cars outside.
That tends to happen when you illegally enter strangers' homes. Firstly, as for how my ex-mother-in-law managed to get into a stranger's apartment, it turned out the couple who were living there forgot to lock the door when they both went out for work, so she was able to creep in unnoticed. She found a key. They left it out on the table, and she took it upon herself to have a copy made at a local locksmith. She returned to the empty apartment for several consecutive days while its inhabitants worked, where she continued diligently looking after her son. Eventually, she ran into the poor, unsuspecting couple one day as they came back from work. Naturally, she calls the police a major nuisance when they were swiftly dispatched to deal with this strange woman hiding in their bathroom. The incident ultimately ended up being the straw that broke the camel's back when my ex-father-in-law, from whom she had been living separately, finally divorced her. Apparently, she broke down into tears, screaming, wanting to be alone, not even knowing where her little beloved Seth had moved away to. Her own parents were no longer around, and she didn't have a soul in the world to rely on. Thus began her life alone. Now I'm living happily in an apartment my company provided for me when I transferred. I did get one last message before I blocked her, bemoaning how she cries herself to sleep every night because of me.